Baseball is the very symbol, the outward and visible expression of the drive and push and rush and struggle of a raging, tearing, booming 19th century America.
Dope the ball. The hitter swings at the arm motion. Into deep left center for Mitchell. And we'll see you tomorrow night.
It's been said that if you want to understand America, you must first understand baseball. It's called the national pastime. It's played on fields of dreams.
Baseball is the greatest American sport and the greatest reflection of American cultural history. It's the sport with the longest history. It goes back to before the turn of the century.
Every little girl and every little boy and every grandmother and grandfather plays that game, holds a bat in their hands, swings it and tries to hit the ball.
I say that baseball is not only the #1 game in our country, it is the best buy in town.
In a precise sense, it's much more popular today. It involves many more people than it ever did before.
Baseball blossoms with the warmth of spring, and throughout the long hot summer, millions of Americans take themselves out to the ball game to see the drama unfold. To every American, it's an American game, with American origins traced back to a particular time at a particular place. The time is 1839, the place Cooperstown in upstate New York, now the site of baseball's Hall of Fame. By repute, it was here that Abner Doubleday carved out the first baseball diamond and invented the first rules. But the story is just that, a quaint story. The true roots of baseball are embedded not in the New World, but in the fertile ground of the old. European medieval manuscripts were often lavishly illustrated with scenes of everyday life. The beautifully embellished 14th century Gistel Hours contains the earliest known record of a game intriguingly like baseball. The Romance of Alexander was illustrated in Flanders in 1344. Here the 4 basemen, including 2 nuns, wait expectantly as the pitcher and the batter confront one another. The Little Pretty Pocketbook was printed in England in 1744, and in America 18 years later. It detailed the games of the day and includes the very first published reference to the name of the game. This is Fullerton, a small English hamlet, and home for Catherine Morland, heroine of Jane Austen's novel Northanger Abbey, written in 1798. Catherine's childhood is described thus.
It was not wonderful that Catherine, who had by nature nothing heroic about her, should prefer cricket, baseball, riding on horseback and running about the countryside to books.
Throughout Europe, games similar to Catherine's were common. Schlagball in Germany, Lapta in Russia, Langbolt in Denmark, and Kuningaspalo in Finland. These games were the mature stock from which America would nurture its hybrid giant. There are some surviving descendants of these early games still played in Europe. Pesapallo, a cross between old Kuningaspalo and modern American baseball, flourishes in Finland. In Wales, a cross between old British baseball, rounders and cricket survives as Welsh baseball. But these were only very early beginnings. The game that everyone knows as baseball is entirely American. From this European heritage, baseball developed rapidly in the United States. It was mentioned as early as 1778, played by Washington soldiers at Valley Forge. In 1846, an organized game was played on the banks of the Hudson River at the Elysian Fields in Hoboken, New Jersey. The game was between the New York Nine and Alexander Cartwright's Knickerbocker Club. Cartwright was to become known as the father of modern baseball and standardized many of the early rules. Baseball spread far and wide, and in 1869, the Cincinnati Red Stockings became the first professional team. In 1903, the first World Series was played, and the finest team of the era were the New York Giants. But the best player played in Detroit. Ty Cobb may not have been the most popular of men, but that was of little concern to him. He was the best, and in 1936 became the first man to be inducted into the Hall of Fame. But Cobb was not infallible, and for one young man, a memorable day came in 1911, the day he struck out Ty Cobb. Chester